Hey folks, breaking in a new phone. Learn how to push buttons. Those buttons are pushing me a little bit. You know, picking up on the news here during the week, couldn't help but notice there was stories about how measures of childhood poverty, numbers of children living in poverty in the United States, showed some declines over the measurements the last couple of years, some to levels that hadn't been at low in nearly 30 years. Good news. Same newspaper, information about, let's say, reading about newcomers to the country, refugees and immigrants being kind of shipped around from one state to another, almost like states were kind of washing their hands of the people, that kind of thing. Much like maybe like people like move furniture around, maybe take the old furniture and put it on the curb and hope someone will take it if they put the word free on there, things like that. You see improvements in one area and sliding backwards in others. It's like one step forward, two steps back. The world's a complicated place. Prophet Amos had something to say about that. Hear, people who trample on the needy and destroy the poor of the land. We have to think about these things. What do we do in this world, guided by the Lord? How are we called to care for one another? The world's a complicated place, lots of struggles. There's struggle in our gospel today. Let's talk about that a little bit. Today we hear a gospel that's familiar, but in many ways very hard to sort out. It's a story of this person who works for this rich man who he's been performing poorly. Luke doesn't say why he was performing poorly. But he's been called in, he's about to lose his job. What he ends up doing, he makes friends with his master's debtors and makes deals with them to, say, get some of these debts paid off, debts to the master. With all this dealing that's going on, you're not quite sure whose interests are really being served. Is it the employer getting the money he should have gotten? Is it the debtors getting a break and they're willing to come forward? Or is it the employee just trying to save his skin? It's very complicated. Lots of struggle. What's it all mean? Go to the end of the gospel, a long gospel today, but an important message at the end. Jesus says that no servant can serve two masters. You'll either hate the one and love the other, or be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and mammon. You can't serve both God and money. The gospel today is about this man, his attitude, his attachment, his love for money. He's eventually freed from his love for money, which is where we can all be called to be as we look to live and to love in this world that the Lord has given us. Now, what if I told you that there was this substance out in the world that if you had it, you had security. You could obtain anything you wanted. If you had this substance, you could go anywhere. You could enjoy an experience. Folks, often when I'm here standing in this spot, I'm talking about what the Lord has to offer to you to make all that possible. But today, I'm talking about a different substance. I'm talking to you about money. It's paper. It's coin. Maybe it's a line on the screen of your laptop at home, or it's a line on your bank statement you got in the mail. Now, money isn't evil, but love of money is the root of all evil. Money has the potential for great good, like security, healthcare, community, putting food on the table and a roof over your head for you, your family, especially for your kiddos. Maybe it means you won't have to work as hard in the September of your years. But money, like so many things, is easily misused. We're familiar with words like greed, possession, status, power. It's not just people. It can be institutions. Hey, it can be nations of the world who kind of clash with other nations all over trying to acquire wealth. Think of how many wars were caused in our human history by one nation trying to possess the wealth of another. Wealth, money, can come to possess you. And it's what money represents. People might say, if I could earn just a little bit more, I'll be happy. I'll have what I need. But stories and testimonials often show us that's not the case. I get that extra step and I need a little bit more than that. It's a hunger that never seems satisfied. We all heard stories about people who are huge lottery winners, people who win millions and millions of dollars. And with all the stuff they get, all the substances they acquire, they're not happy. Love of money can ruin your life. Love of money can upset and displace the important relationships and priorities that are in your life and in your heart. Jesus in the gospel today tells us that we can't serve both. We need to choose. We need to choose God, we need to choose money. The world says that money is everything, and we use it to advance ourselves. When we choose God, well, we're called to become followers. We're called to become stewards. And stewards use all the gifts at their disposal. And money is one of those gifts. All the gifts at our disposal. In choosing God, money takes on a different relationship with us. Does money represent our needs, our wants? Or are we people who are stewards? And we use the many gifts we've received, including money, in service of others, in service of God, in service of the common good. Money serves us. It's not the other way around. But to the world, money is everything. To us, as stewards, money is a tool. Money is a gift that we use to serve God and serve others. I mean, you are responsible in the way you use all the gifts that God has given you. You may have money. Hopefully, money does not have you. Money doesn't come to possess you. Instead, you use it as a tool to serve the Lord. Now, that might sound kind of like it comes out of somebody's head first thing in the morning. Let's talk about this maybe with a little more of a practical side to things. Think about the choices that you've had to make in the course of your life over the years. Choices about money. Maybe you feel the world has kind of shaped those choices you made too much. Maybe you feel you've been kind of boxed in and you haven't had choice in matters like that. Maybe you've come to have second thoughts over the years about how the singular love of money is a pursuit that can never be attained. I remember years ago coming across a novel called Loneliness and the Long Distance Runner. I had a friend once who was telling me one of the loneliest places he ever been was the realization that he had all this money and no family, no one to share it with. Money can be a lonely pursuit too. Think instead about, say, the trade-offs that we often are called to make. Trade-offs with God, trade-offs with our families, trade-offs with our time and how we live our lives. You know, you still have time. Consider the struggles of the man in Luke's gospel today. May that be instructive for us. Here's a chance for us to choose God. Put God first. Some say money is everything, but God will help us with everything. Deus supplet. God will supply. Let the love of God take root in your heart. As Jesus said about that man in the story, let's put God first.